The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And his first pass is incomplete.
And as talented as he is, you know he's going to see a lot of footballs coming his way in this one. They want to get him involved. And here, they were hoping for something right out of the gate, but that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now 3rd down and 7. They'll set up a throw. Now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And out of bounds right around the 20. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll look to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game, then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored. They're pretty tired right now.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Bills getting set to go. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Allen, he's got his man. That's the rookie from Florida State. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Coleman, the man in motion right. Now Allen. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Motion man is Shakir. Here's Allen to throw it. Has his man, it's Shakir. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Allen now looks to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen again. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They run for the first time with James Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Coleman, the man in motion right. Now Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 31, here comes second and a yard. Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Hurts sets up to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw again on second down. Hurts. And this will be caught by Brown. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They go play action with Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The kick by Elliott is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Allen going to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Allen to throw once more. Quick throw on the slant, but that's behind his man and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Here's Williams to return. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Now back to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, That may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
They'll look to throw again. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 37. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2nd and a couple. Throwing is Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is up.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Flushed out right. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the second half, the NFL record for single-game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Here's Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Looking on the out route, he finds Shakir. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Here's Allen. Completes to Shakir once again. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the slot man goes in motion left. From the gun, it's Allen. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Here's Allen to throw it. He's able to get it to Coleman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 36 yards on the play.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
Throwing now is Allen. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here comes the seventh play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now Allen. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills are forced to settle for 3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down and a yard. A handoff to Barkley, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
His throw incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. The 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Their entire offense has been centered on him, and he's been carrying the load with ease. 100 yards rushing in a game for a quarterback is rare. In a single half, darn near a masterpiece.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Oh, and that is incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Coleman, the man in motion right. To the air, Allen. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Coleman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Allen going to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return is Williams. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Yeah, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Here's Hurts to throw. And he fends him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Joey Bosa able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bills going to take over again on offense. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Beginning this series with a handoff to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. Coleman, the man in motion left. To throw, it's Allen. This is Coleman with a grab. That'll give them 8 that time, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on, but the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage, but you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They run again on first down. Cook. He's got it to the 43 here.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Allen. Completes it to Coleman.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Allen now looks to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Back to the ground, Cook. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now Allen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Nolan Smith from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. It's complete to Brown, right side. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Hurts. Fighting this, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Has his man, it's Shakir. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 4. Here's Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And Knox is going to have a Bills 1st down as he'll get this down to the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Here's Allen to throw it. Shakir hauls it in. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Cook up the gut. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game. And I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Throwing now is Allen. That is caught, and he is going to have a Bills 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Now Allen. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
So nothing doing there, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Completes to Shakir once again. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's got his man. That's Coleman. And he is going to have the Bills 1st down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They'll look to throw again. That's caught. It's Coleman. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Cook. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Bills are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better, because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
55 yards rushing for him now to this point. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. He ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Shifts past him at the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the first.
Agreed. Anytime you can force them to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the first down and get a fresh set.
Huge 4th down conversion. And brought down there by Taylor Rapp.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Subsequent gains of 3, 4, and now 5 yards. Good enough for the first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Hurts going to keep it running right. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And that is incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
They'll run with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Barkley will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Buffalo set to get the football back here. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Allen. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
That is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Second and 10. Allen now looks to throw. To the right side and intercepted. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This now a 3rd and 4. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley able to power through. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 115 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.